So here's my game of Tetris. Took me about a week to make, a few hours here, a few hours there. The coding wasn't so bad, but that's the bulk of the work was the software. The microcontroller has, there's an input here, there's a controller input here with 6 buttons and a 74HC165 load register. So that's like all the circuitry, like the most complicated soldering that I had to do was putting 6 buttons together with resistors and connecting them to VCC ground and making the button thing do the button thing, right, with the load registers. So if you look at this here, you got the nano, there's a nano controller right here. It's taped up, you can't really see it. The button's accessible back there. When I first put it together, I used a close wire to make these 2 lines here, the closed wire, these 2 here, this closed line, it's a closed hanger, right? So I mean, I just cut it up and covered it with tape and bent it so it makes like a handle over here, and use some wire to stick the button controller thing at the bottom. But it was too heavy at the top, so I couldn't hold it right. So I added the soup can lid, well, it was a jar, whatever, and it still didn't work. So then I wound up adding this chopstick at the end. So basically the most difficult thing was the button controller thing there and all that, and yeah, the volume. It's a pretty cool game. I found one of the rotate buttons here on the right are a little sensitive, and the flashing piece up here is the next piece coming down. So you know, it's my Arduino project. So then you do that, and I'm just gonna scroll down to end the game here, because uses the EEPROM to store the high score and the high score user's name. So if I were to score a high score right now, I'd show you how to write your name in, but that's pretty intuitive as well. Basically anybody who's ever been to an arcade knows how to enter their name into the thing. So let's use the buttons there. That's my score, 53. The high score is 34 and 59. And that's the name of the high score. And it just loops like that, and then you start over and keep playing. When you launch the thing, it's got a scrolling text which scrolls vertically. Initially, what I had is I wrote a scrolling text function that scrolled sideways, and that was good for another project. But when I came around to doing this, I had to like scroll it vertically, or else it looked funny. So I did that, and then I found out that using 8 bytes for each character of the alphabet winds up being a lot of bytes, a lot of memory. So to save memory, what I did is I drew the characters sideways and then juxtaposed them like right next to each other in a series of bytes, in an array of bytes. I talk about it in the article, you'll see. So it freed up a lot of memory, and made all the other stuff possible, because I was running out of memory because of the scrolling text. And that's my project.